Behind that door,
This is my toy box.
is Craig Field's connection
It is special.
to something he can never replace.
It is the motorcycle that Emily and I used to take our midnight rides on. I like motorcycles. I'm a motorcycle nut. This is the favorite bike of all time.
The chrome and rubber are material. The way he shared them with his only daughter, Emily, was spiritual.
There's a special bond between the father and the daughter. And this is one of those moments on the back of that motorcycle there going down the road at night that it was just me and her.
Emily
She was the epitome of happiness.
was one of those kids who seemed to sense that she only had so much time into which she had to squeeze all life had to offer.
Anytime the car left the driveway, she was in it.
Then, a few years ago, she thought she pulled a muscle while picking up a child that she was babysitting.
Who would have ever thought a 17-year-old kid who played lacrosse just before this happened and healthy, working part-time, going to school full-time, who would ever think that this child had anything wrong with her other than a pulled muscle?
But she eventually went to the hospital to discover what no 17-year-old ever imagines.
And that's when we found out that she had the softball-sized tumor in her kidney. We were told from the beginning that it was bad, really bad.
But Emily, being true to her spirit, rallied.
I really, truly thought a miracle had happened and that she was healed.
Emily showed signs that she and her doctors might have found a way to beat her form of cancer called Ewing sarcoma.
We had no idea that the cancer had gone to her brain.
It was about Saturday morning, about 1:30 in the morning is when it dawned on me that I was going to lose my daughter.
And he did, less than a year after her diagnosis. And as you can imagine, in the middle of that unfathomable grief and pain, Craig and Tammy Field weren't always thinking about how they could help other people who were in their same position. But even in those last days before her death, Emily was.
Emily would wonder, well, how do people do it? How do people make it? And she really didn't realize that we were on that bubble ourselves.
It's old football.
Just as Jared Smith and his family were this past year.
New school football.
Jared was a happy 7-year-old
That's my favorite page.
when he too
Oh, here's my favorite page.
had to learn about cancer.
This is my favorite page.
Cancer is a hard word to swallow.
I like football.
And to say that your son has leukemia, that's very devastating.
And his mother, Cheryl, was understandably consumed with his care and not thinking about things like having cash to pay for parking at the hospital
I made up my own
when the
dog.
doctors handed her a
This
solution.
is the JB and dog.
When they gave me the parking pass, they gave me a little ticket that says Emily Kids Foundation on it.
You're not prepared to pay the prices for hospital food or the parking or the gas.
Craig and
or-
Tammy had followed up on Emily's thought of how families take care of those little things while trying to focus on their child's health by starting a foundation that does just that, buying gift cards that they give to the medical teams who know where they're needed most.
We go up and we give them a box of Walmart cards or Citgo cards, and that's the last we see it. I'll go up to Brenner sometime and I'll go to the clinic where Emily was treated, and somebody will say, well, hell, Emily brought so-and-so's lunch today. But then that's nice to hear.
Cheryl Smith feels the echo of Emily Field's love long after Emily is gone.
That was a blessing for me, that this family would start a foundation and think of the little things that we don't have to worry about. It's people like them that can help us through this when we're going through some rough times.
The foundation has provided more than $70,000 of help to families of children in all 7 pediatric cancer hospitals in North Carolina. Craig Field delivers it all on the motorcycle that he used to ride with Emily, with reminders of Emily forever on the horizon.
Sunrise and sunset does it for me. Seeing those pastel colors, that's where I see Emily at a lot.
When I see pink in the sky, I know that's Emily letting me know that things are well and not to worry.
Although Emily's life was just coming into full bloom, her spirit is an eternal blossom. Bob Buckley, Fox 8 News.